Hello funders, my name is John Hayes, owner and operator of UpDrop Farms, indoor vertical hydroponic farms. And I gotta ask you, do you know where your food comes from? Because I plan to bring fresh, local, better than organic produce to local, different locations throughout the Louisville market, where currently the supply cannot be met by all the demand. So what I do is I grow indoors vertically with hydroponic systems, taking maximum amount of use of my footprint. I control every aspect of the growing process, from the nutrients, the lights, the carbon dioxide in the air, and I leave nothing to chance like traditional farming. Right now I have a few systems in place that are producing different types of lettuces, herbs, microgreens that myself and my friends and neighbors are really enjoying. So right now what I need to do is expand to a retail location, which I can use as my centralized hub for local deliveries, local pickup, monthly subscriptions, as well as deliveries to restaurants and other local businesses that want to do the wholesale side. This facility will require 24 vertical rack systems capable of producing 115,000 heads of lettuce per year in about 1,000 square feet at a cost of around 62 cents per head, which I can sell anywhere from $1 to $2 depending on the retail versus wholesale side, things of that nature. This facility will cost me around $75,000, which I am willing to give up 15% of equity in my company. I do hope that you can see this as an innovative new business and that you could want to grow together with me, and you can answer the question of where your food comes from. So thank you. I'll take any questions.
Mark.
I'm embarrassed to say I don't know what a regular head of lettuce costs. How do you compare?
Well, there's obviously all different kinds. So you can go to Kroger and get stuff that's wholesaled in, delivered from across the country. And my problem with that is that it's usually picked not by flavor and taste and ripeness. It's picked on travelability, if that portability. Yes. So what I'm doing is I'm creating kind of these hyper local micro farms that I can sell stuff and keep everything in-house, so I'm not paying transportation costs. I have an electric car now that I bought to do the deliveries, so I can zip back and forth to local places real quick. Growing in-house in Louisville is really great because electricity is extremely cheap across the entire country. So whereas a lot of people say this is a really expensive thing to get into and it's going to always jack up your costs of your lettuce, my numbers are not working out that way, and maybe because I'm keeping it so small. And
so what is the cost? What's a head of lettuce cost at Kroger today?
At Kroger today, anywhere from $1 to $3, depending if you get live lettuce.
What do they buy it for?
I would assume they're buying it anywhere from 50 cents to $1, depending on
so you're
where
telling
they're
me
getting.
Though, by growing this here locally, perfectly, it's better than organic, it tastes better, and you can do it at their cost or cheaper than what they're buying it at today.
Absolutely, yes, no problem at all.
What do you think? Will any of our investors bite on this organic idea?
We'll find out when Dream Funders returns. I'm Melissa Fraser, back with you on Dream Funders, the show that matches local entrepreneurs with local investors.
Right now, John Hayes is hoping to raise some cabbage from our funders for his idea of growing organic lettuce in the city.
So what I do is I grow indoors vertically with hydroponic systems, taking maximum amount of use of my footprint. I control every aspect of the growing process, from the nutrients, the lights, the carbon dioxide in the air, and I leave nothing to chance like traditional farming. This facility will cost me around $75,000, which I am willing to give up 15% of equity in my company. I do hope that you can see this as an innovative new business and that you could want to grow together with me.
Will his dreams wilt away? Or is this idea growing on any of our funders?
How much can you produce? And if you sold everything that you grow, what do those numbers look like?
So let's do, if we did heads of lettuce at 115,000 heads, that's 10 turns per year, which is extremely conservative. I think I can get that to around 12 to 13 turns per year, which a turn is how many plants can you get in this one site per year. And at that rate, let's say I do get $1.50 a head, and that's a lot of my bread and butter would be to deliver to customers directly and no middleman in it whatsoever. And at the 62 cents and making around 90 cents per head, you know, good amount. I'm sorry.
So your business model is to deliver 115,000 heads of lettuce in a Prius to your consumer?
Not quite, yeah. No, not all delivery. Pickup is going to be a big part of it. So there'll be huge discounts for any kind of monthly subscription because everything is so pre-programmed and I know when everything's going to come out that restaurants have been really, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting away from customers. So the customers can come in whenever they want to. They can pay one flat rate and they have the same thing, and the varieties are always going to be available. I can have the core sets and I can have varieties coming out. And restaurants have been really, really interested in the fact that I can actually give them growing space and they tell me what they want. So that's a really nice thing too. So they can tell me, you know, they want a certain type of microgreens for the next few weeks and try it out. And if they like it, they can keep it. And I can keep churning out that same amount for the same price. And they get the exact same product every time instead of a variety of their food distributor getting it from Canada.
So
and
do you
then
have
Mexico
a problem with tweaking your model to really go after more of a wholesale restaurant distribution and getting away from your moms and pops, or are you just so passionate about changing the world a grandma at a time that that's your single focus?
No, I mean, it definitely
I can tell
is.
you're a tree hugger and I'm not. I'm about money, not electric cars. So
I understand. Oh, I like money too, for sure. And you know, the wholesale part of it, that is where the big guys keep getting into, and I can sell to wholesale 100%. Now, maybe to Kroger, who's gigantic, might be a little tougher than a local restaurant, but I can do wholesale, no problem, and I can get it to them. I mean, yeah, my car is really small, but I can fit, you know, up to 500 heads of lettuce in there, no problem. And I also have a van lined up that I'm going to
So go back to the numbers. If we turn that over 10 times conservatively,
yes.
What do you think your gross revenue, and you can do that, or you need 1 or 2 employees? What's your gross revenue? What'll be, if we sold them all, what's your gross profit?
$115,000, right around $180,000 in that ballpark.
It's gross revenue, or is that okay?
Yes.
And so that your net profit would, what would be your net on 180,000 gross?
Right around $90,000.
Okay. Do you pay yourself a salary right now?
I planned on paying myself a salary starting around the 40 to 50,000 range.
Okay, so at 50,000, that leaves 40,000 profit, correct?
Yes.
So we're saying profit, but that's just based on revenue
That's
minus
based
cost.
on him growing them. If you had the contracts to sell them, and we maximize
If
that.
he had the
but yeah,
contracts.
yeah.
Okay.
Right, and
If
the
he had
whole
the-
salary part, my passion with it, I am very negotiable on all these figures, so I can definitely take a cut if I'm
You can
doing
have
what
free
I love.
lettuce.
And yeah, absolutely, feed myself for sure, no problem at all.
To what scale have you already done it?
Right now, actually, I built a 4x8 rack in a greenhouse that I constructed in my backyard, a passive solar greenhouse I built in my backyard earlier this year, and it's growing right now. It's 360 heads in my backyard.
I'm actually going to make this easy for you. I love what you're doing. I'm passionate about vegetables and organic fruits. I think there's a real drive in the industry to do that. I think you're going to have probably a problem getting with some of your bigger distributors like Kroger's or your smaller ones, especially in Louisville. Sound like a great opportunity, restaurants and such. But I just don't think there's enough profit in there to get me interested. I think you haven't quite understood all the mechanics of what it's going to take to make the business tick. Breakage in making your product. You're not going to have 100% of your product turn out good. You're not going to have 100% delivered good. You're going to have some breakage in there that you have to account for. I would encourage you to keep moving, but just for me, I don't think it quite fits yet. So.
Gotcha.
Do any of our funders want to invest some green in John's green thumb?
No, I was involved in it. There's a local charity in town started by Gary Heine from Heine Brothers, and they were trying to do exactly this. They were using coffee grounds as the basis for their compost, and they had vertical hydroponic vegetables that they were growing. And it was kind of based off of a group in Milwaukee. And the more I looked at, the more they looked at it, they realized that even with volunteer labor, they couldn't make money. So, I guess my experience that with, even paying labor nothing and getting the capital donated, they still couldn't make it break even. So I just think I think the costs are too great, the effort's too large, and the profit's too thin for me to want to invest in.
Okay.
I don't have anything further to add.
I really like you, and I'm probably naive because I always like the best in people, and I think you're a
Okay.
very honest kid. I don't know that the money's there. I'm not going to commit $75,000. If I did, and we meet again, I mean, I'm going to have. I mean, the paying you a salary is the money's just not there. But I believe in you enough to where if I put up 75 grand, I mean, it's the money's not. I mean, I'd have to have half the company.
Right.
I mean, we take dollars out together, so
Gotcha.
so I can get money back. So, you know, if that's of interest to you, I'll meet with you. You know, I can't. You know, I'll meet with you in the next week or so.
Okay.
And if you know, it's yes or no tonight. If it's yes to the degree, if you want to accept those terms, I just really like you, and I believe in you.
Thank you.
And I've bet, you know, I've bet that on a horse before, and I like you better on a horse. So.
I appreciate it.
There's a lot of contingencies because I don't understand this business. I have to come see the rack. I have to come
Gotcha.
do numbers with you. But it's $75,000 for 50%. We take money out equally, assuming that I'm doing some due diligence. I know some people that I might be able to get everything you've done, everything you grow sold. There's some contingencies we got to work out, but
Absolutely.
Yeah, yes or no?
I'd be more than interested to hear that.
all right.
No problem at all.
Deal.
Absolutely.
I'll do it.
I'm Melissa Fraser. We'll see you next time on Dream Funders.